Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Liam opens up to Steffy after Finn rejects Poppy's requests to keep their secret. Finn is at his office, changing his shirt and discussing back-to-back shifts with someone over the phone. He can't wait to see his wife at home. He disconnects, and Poppy enters. He tells Steffy that Luna is his daughter today and that he knows why she is there and that he won't change his mind. He still hasn't told her, Poppy notes. He has been putting in ridiculous hours at work. Poppy believes that he is putting in extra effort because he secretly knows that the only way to protect what he and Steffy have together is to keep it a secret. Finn informs her that their current situation is the result of dishonesty. They discuss what would have happened to Luna had he been involved. Poppy had no desire to ruin his life. Finn shouts that he could have become a father and a doctor. He and Luna were robbed by her. Her life might have turned out quite differently. That is all he can think about, along with the following course of events. When his wife finds out that the person who kidnapped her and attempted to kill her is her husband's daughter, he doesn't know how she will respond. Liam acknowledges that his life is bad. Steffy and Liam discuss their co-parenting and go over Kelly's routine at the Cliff House. Liam says he recently discussed with his father how they nearly lost her because to Luna. Steffy makes an effort to keep her and what she caused her out of her mind. She hopes that she will never again see the light of day. If Steffy feels safe, Liam asks. She recalls how her courageous husband saved her from becoming Luna's third murder victim. Finn is always there for her. After speaking with the office over the phone, Liam apologizes to Steffy for disturbing her. He reveals that a significant client is unhappy that he is working with them rather than Bill. It's just the way things are, with his dad taking a break from the daily grind. Since he only has the kids to take care of, Liam has no problem stepping up. She asks him if he's taking time for himself and tells him that he's a fantastic father. Liam occasionally reads, works out, and is considering getting a parrot. Steffy is worried. Liam tells her he's all right. I believe I'm doing well. Perhaps not. I'm not sure. At this point, life simply doesn't look the way I had imagined it would. She is with Finn, and Hope is with Carter. He is to blame, but his life is kind of a mess. Luna fans herself at Bill's house, while he gripes about the inability to get the air conditioner to turn on. She wishes she was at the beach, but wearing the ankle monitor would prevent her from getting very far. Bill concurs. He wouldn't be able to assist her and she would be sent back to prison. Luna swears not to do anything foolish and is aware of the regulations. Although she is incredibly appreciative, she occasionally feels that she should be imprisoned for what she did to Tom, Hollis, and Steffy, the wife of her cousin. Bill Luna B&B. Bill is still unable to get someone out to fix the AC after yet another exasperating phone call. He tells Luna that this isn't meant to be a picnic and that she cannot use the ankle monitor in the pool. She needs to reflect on her past and present selves. He hopes their discussions have been beneficial. Luna informs him that he has assisted her in realizing that her history need not define her. She expresses gratitude to him for everything and for believing in her. They give each other hugs. She acknowledges that she fantasizes about returning to reality and finding that her family no longer despises her. There are moments when Luna feels a little stir-crazy and wishes she could escape. However, she is aware that doing so would make it impossible for her to reintegrate with her family. Luna understands it's unlikely. She also came dangerously close to killing her cousin's wife. Bill Luna B&B. Liam attempts to turn around his awful life at the Cliff home. He's simply annoyed. Steffy assumes it's because he doesn't have a partner. She inquires as to whether he has dated. That hasn't worked out, he claims. He acknowledges, with a sigh, that yesterday was his birthday. Steffy sighs. It's all right, Liam says. Wyatt called him. This isn't a sympathy party, he assured his ex, adding that it just serves to highlight her happiness for her and Finn. Finn informs Poppy at his office that the prison is still giving him the runaround. He is concerned and won't give up. Poppy feels the same way, but she's also concerned about him and his impending actions. What if he isn't acting morally as he believes he is? What if his marriage breaks down, or worse? Because of you, says Finn, this won't be easy, but it's unavoidable. He must cause Steffy misery, and his only goal is to make her happy. Sheila was the first, and now Luna. I continue to hurt Steffy. B&B with Finn Poppy. When Steffy finds out that Luna is his daughter, Finn warns that she might run for the door. So why take the risk? Poppy wonders. Finn needs to believe that his family and his marriage will endure this. What if you can't? Poppy asks. When he returns home and tells Steffy the truth, Finn will learn the truth. She is deserving. As he walks out the door, Poppy begs him to get out of my way and give it more time. B&B with Finn Poppy. Liam acknowledges that he is envious at the Cliff home because he blew all of his opportunities. She discovered in Finn that she deserved better than him. Steffy believes there won't be any more surprises or shocks because they have a boy together. Yeah, there's the Sheila thing, but we'll keep an eye on it, she says. They deserve to unwind and enjoy each other and their family, so Liam sincerely hopes not. Steffy receives a text stating that Finn is en route home. Liam is going to leave them to spend some time alone. Wait, Steffy exclaims, running into the kitchen and rushing around before coming back with a large cookie with a candle on top. Happy birthday, Liam. He extinguishes the candle, gives her a hug, and she responds, look after yourself, okay? Liam assures her that everything happens for a reason. Finn and you were destined to be together. Forever. He leaves after saying that. Luna sniffs and looks at a picture of Finn and Steffy at Bill's house. I'm sorry, Finn, she says. I'm so sorry. Steffy is cleaning and bopping at the Cliff house when Finn enters. She removes her earbuds as he smiles. They embrace and kiss, saying, baby, I missed you. She has no idea how much Finn tells her he missed her. He asks himself, how can I tell her that Luna is my daughter? In the midst of Finn and Luna's chaos, does Steffy succumb to Liam's temptation? According to spoilers and updates for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, is tense because she thinks her marriage is about to face another upheaval. This raises the question, as the father-daughter conflict between John Finn Finnegan and Luna Nozawa develops, will Steffy be able to resist the pull of Liam Spencer's embrace? Finn's concerns about his daughter's birth come to light. Given all Steffy has been through over the past few years, and it has been a lot, Finn is undoubtedly concerned about how much she can take. Luna and Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, have both tried to permanently remove Steffy, exposing a troubling relationship between Finn's biological daughter and his cunning birth mother. Steffy's horrific experience in the cage, where Luna taunted and imprisoned her in a building that was going to be demolished without knowing if she would perish there, still haunts her. Only Finn's prompt rescue allowed her to escape with her life, and even then, it was a very close call for them both. However, Steffy will undoubtedly experience a range of emotions upon learning that Luna is the love child of Finn and Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park. There will be more Shin marriage chaos for viewers. As Steffy decides what to do next, the drama that is developing is expected to cause even more marital conflict on the soap opera, maybe leading to a split. When Finn finds out that Luna is living in the lavish estate of Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, he will find it more and more difficult to break up his relationship with her. Finn will eventually find out where Luna is and will surely feel obliged to get in touch because he wants Luna to know that he is more than just her adoptive cousin, he is her father. Is this going to be the final straw that causes Steffy and Finn to divorce? In the meantime, Liam might take use of the chance to probe Steffy's mind, convincing her that staying married to Finn is not worth the hassle and promoting a story full of scary warnings. Despite his good nature, Finn has evil family baggage. Steffy will inevitably draw a parallel between Finn's birth mother and his wish to maintain a relationship with her, as well as between Finn and his biological daughter. Given how similar Sheila and Luna are, she will probably prohibit Finn from contacting Luna, which will surely cause friction between them. As with the conception of Hayes Finnegan, Chase and Alexander Banks, Liam will undoubtedly seize the chance to get Steffy back into his bed and into his life. This time, however, it will probably be a deliberate decision rather than an inebriated one-night stand error that brings steam back together. Liam might have little issue persuading Steffy that continuing to be married to Finn will put her and her kids in danger. Finn finally tells Steffy the truth while ignoring pleading Poppy, and Liam admits that his life stinks. Hope refused to go out of his way for anyone else, Ridge turned his back on Brooke, Finn was furious, and he was getting ready to tell Steffy about Luna. After working consecutive shifts, Finn is changing in his office. As he puts his shirt on, Poppy appears. He declares right away that he will inform Steffy that Luna is his daughter today. His busy schedule is the sole reason he hasn't told her yet. Poppy implies that he is keeping himself occupied in order to avoid having to be honest with Steffy. They argue over whether things would have been better if the truth had been revealed. Poppy had no desire to ruin his entire life. He is certain that he might have been a doctor and a father. He has the power to drastically alter Luna's life. Finn is unsure about his wife's reaction to the fact that her stepdaughter is the person who attempted to kill her. Poppy cautions that Steffy's marriage would fall apart if he tells him the truth. He is unyielding and accuses her of being responsible for everything. When all he wants to do is make Steffy happy, he keeps bringing her. If Steffy runs, Finn wouldn't hold it against her. They are able to what if this to death, but only if he tells Steffy the truth will he be aware of the result. He marches out past her. Steffy bakes at the Cliff House as Liam discusses taking Kelly out. They give themselves kudos for being excellent co-parents. He reminds her that because of Luna, they nearly lost her. She tries not to think about it and remembers how Finn rescued her from his cousin and his birth mother. Finn is always there for her. The office calls Liam to inform him that a client is on the warpath. He tells Steffy that they don't know why his dad has stopped being involved in the day-to-day activities. Steffy is hoping that Liam is making time for himself. He works out and reads. He quips that in order to keep himself company, he is considering getting a parrot. He then acknowledges that his life isn't what he had imagined it would be. It is his own responsibility that Steffy and Hope are seeing other men. He remarks, "My life kind of stinks." He regrets uttering those words. She inquires about his dating life and assures him that things will work out in due time. He reveals that Wyatt was the only one who recognized that yesterday was his birthday. He doesn't wish to be self-conscious. This just serves to highlight his happiness for her and Finn. Although he blew all his opportunities and she met someone better, Liam acknowledges that he feels jealous. She believes that she and Finn won't experience any more shocks, such as his mother being Sheila. Finn tells her via text that he will be there shortly. Liam makes the decision to leave. Wishing him a happy birthday, she lights a candle on a cookie. He assures her that everything happens for a purpose. Finn and she are destined to be together forever. He walks away. She lets out a sigh. As she cleans, she plugs in her earbuds and hums. When Finn shows up, he tells her that he has missed her more than she has. "How can I tell you Luna is my daughter, my daughter, my daughter?" he asks himself as he embraces her. Luna is clutching a fan and hoping she could go surfing at Bill's because the air conditioner isn't working. Bill is devastated that he can't get someone to come out and fix the air conditioner right away. They discuss her youth and restlessness. Although she is incredibly thankful to be there, she occasionally questions whether she deserves to be incarcerated. He tries calling, but it doesn't work. He points out that Luna's tracker is not waterproof, therefore she wishes she could jump in the pool. Their discussions about being the finest versions of themselves are pondered. She thanks him and is determined to make him proud. She gives him a hug, and he smiles. Luna discusses the things she fantasizes about while in bed. She longs to return to the world without being despised. She acknowledges that she goes stir-crazy when pacing, but she knows she can't flee. Any hope of getting back together with her family would be destroyed by that. She sniffles as she looks at photos of Steffy and Finn and expresses her regret. Poppy, a matriarch whose sagacity and fortitude had endured innumerable trials in the competitive world of high fashion and family turmoil, had always been the foundation of Forrester Creations. However, in recent years, she had been subjected to constant nagging from all over the empire. Everywhere she looked, insistent voices pleaded for her help, their approval, or just her attention, and the never-ending assault made her feel more and more under attack from the same people who had once admired her leadership. It started with small infringements, a hushed remark in the boardroom, a covert voicemail, but quickly turned into a never-ending barrage of demands that invaded her privacy. Under the pretense of devotion, but with an undertone of desperation that suggested they had little respect for her time or well-being, co-workers and distant family members alike sought her advice on anything from business takeovers to personal grudges. Poppy, who was previously the picture of cool authority, was starting to show symptoms of exhaustion as the pressure increased. Her once warm smile now flashed with a touch of irritation, and her soft reassurances were broken up by sighs that revealed the toll of the persistent pestering. But in the midst of all of this chaos, a tiny glimmer of light appeared in the shape of Liam, a man who had recently gone through a pivotal moment that left him feeling incredibly grateful after a string of personal and professional disappointments. Liam, whose path had been characterized by vulnerable and fiercely determined moments, was lifted by the unanticipated generosity and steadfast support of those in his immediate vicinity. Once caught up in his own quest for approval and acceptance in the cutthroat hallways of Forrester, he now felt a deep sense of gratitude for the friends, mentors, and even enemies who had unintentionally assisted him in becoming a more resilient and strong version of himself. During silent times of reflection, Liam's heart grew full of appreciation for the lessons he had learned from each obstacle he had faced. Each setback had ultimately led him to a more distinct understanding of his own abilities and his proper position within the intricate web of the family. Another amazing incident that promised to smooth even the sharpest edges of interpersonal conflict occurred, even as Liam's newly discovered enthusiasm for life and the unexpected support he got acted as a counterbalance to the developing upheaval within the Forrester estate. The only way to start mending the broken relationships that had characterized the past few months, according to Steffy, who is renowned for her intense drive and occasionally stormy nature, was to offer a sincere olive branch in the shape of a kind, considerate gesture. With the tact of one who has long been caught in the crossfire of sour rivalries and dashed hopes, she painstakingly planned a private party in the tranquil setting of the Forrester garden, a green haven away from the din of board meetings and scandalized rumors. The event was meticulously planned, with delicate fairy lights twinkling overhead, soft, ambient music playing in the background, and a variety of gourmet treats spread out on tastefully decorated tables. Each element was chosen for its capacity to foster warmth and unity rather than for its ostentation. Steffy's mission was straightforward but profound, to remind everyone that there was still a lasting ability for forgiveness, understanding, and true human connection despite the constant power struggles and torrent of treachery that had just destroyed their feeling of security as a society. With a grace that belied the storm raging in her own heart, Steffy moved among the guests as they arrived, some reluctantly, others with hopeful anticipation, sharing stories of personal vulnerability and triumph, and slowly breaking down the inflexible barriers that had developed over time between family members. Her gesture went beyond simply establishing a short-term truce. It was a conscious and sincere attempt to mend past hurts, to rebuild trust from the ground up, and to show that even in a world where deceit and ambition frequently rule supreme, a simple act of kindness can be a powerful catalyst for change. At that moment, when the murmur of genuine laughter blended with the delicate clinking of glasses and the rustle of leaves rustled by a light evening wind, the mood in the garden changed somewhat from one of cautious caution to one of tentative hope. Poppy was softly affected by the sight of her loved ones gathering in such a sincere show of solidarity, even if she was still carrying the burden of the persistent pestering that had plagued her every waking moment. She came to see that although the unrelenting pressures of ambition and power might occasionally mask the true meaning of family, there were still times when the ties of loyalty and sincere concern showed through, providing a ray of hope amidst the mayhem. With a gentle smile and eyes full of silent appreciation, Liam stood off to the side and watched the scene with great satisfaction. His own experience of adversity had taught him the incalculable importance of support, and now, seeing Steffy's considerate initiative and the sincere unity that was gradually taking shape, he felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude that spoke to the core of his being. Every traumatic event he had gone through seemed to have culminated in this one sweet moment, where the hard edges of life were melted away and replaced with the warmth of mutual respect and understanding. Steffy saw the kind gesture as a statement of her dedication to mending the broken history of the Forrester family and to fostering a future in which compassion and love could coexist with tenacity and ambition. The effect of her actions became clear as the night grew darker and the garden transformed into a haven of whispered promises and soft laughter. Old enemies started exchanging cautiously hopeful glances, long-standing grudges were temporarily put aside in favor of accepting the possibility of rebirth, and even Poppy, in spite of the demands that had driven her to the edge, gave herself a rare moment of vulnerability and appreciation for the sincere efforts taking place in front of her eyes. The simple fact that sometimes, in the midst of overwhelming challenges and unrelenting power plays, the most profound statement is not one of defiance or vengeance but of kindness and unity touched the hearts of everyone present in that long evening of reconciliation, whether they were wounded by past betrayals or resentful by the weight of unbridled ambition. The combination of these three stories, Poppy's constant nagging, Liam's sincere appreciation, and Steffy's gentle, healing act, produced a complex emotional tapestry that encapsulated life on the Forrester estate, a world in which every act of manipulation was greeted with an equal amount of fortitude, where every adversity contained the possibility of rebirth, and where, despite unrelenting difficulties, the enduring power of compassion could light up the darkest of nights. A lingering sense of hope pervaded the estate as the last notes of the gentle music faded into the night's silence and the guests gradually scattered into the cool embrace of the evening. This was a promise that, in spite of the constant drama and the constant conflicts that had characterized their lives for so long, there was still a way forward, one that was paved with forgiveness, understanding, and the unwavering belief that, working together, they could create a future that respected both the legacy of the past and the promise of a more compassionate tomorrow. Finn sat by alone in his dark office early on that fateful day, as the gray light of winter dawn crept through the tall glass windows of Forrester Creations. The only sound in the room was the steady buzz of the city waking up. He had been the unwilling keeper of secrets and the reluctant enforcer of concessions for years, divided as he was between his family's allegiance, the Forresters' history, and the personal consequences of the choices he had made out of survival and love. However, on February 21st, a confluence of recollections, circumstances, and growing demands compelled him to face the certainty of change. From hushed assurances in dark hallways to the last, frantic confessions that had shattered his relationships, he remembered every promise he had broken and every trust he had destroyed in those silent, introspective moments. The incessant internal conversation was a clamor of hope and remorse that battled with the steady rhythm of resolve that had been brewing inside of him for months. Finn was aware that every choice had a cost and that continuing in the same direction would mean letting the past control a future filled with suffering and lost chances. His thoughts rushed back to the intense intimacy he had experienced with people he had once had complete faith in, the joy and laughter that now seemed so far away, and the stark truth of the wounds treachery had caused to his heart. At that moment, he understood that the days of incessant apologies and feeble attempts at atonement were over. He had to make a decision that would either destroy his life as it was or open the door to a future in which accountability and honesty were valued above all else. Finn took a deep, reassuring breath and started to write a plan, a blueprint for a fresh start that would enable him to face the fallout from his previous deeds and, maybe, even save his own life. Numerous restless nights, tearful letters, and the constant pressure of a family legacy that required perfection in an imperfect world all contributed to the choice. His mind shifted to Steffy, whose unflinching fortitude had frequently served as a mirror to his own weaknesses, and to the silent support of those who, in spite of everything, had faith in his ability to improve. He reflected on the shattered ambitions and broken pledges that dotted his memories, each serving as a sobering reminder of what had been lost when commitment and honesty were subordinated to pride and fear. As the day went on, Finn had a number of challenging discussions, each of which served as a springboard for his final choice. He discussed his hopes and worries in private sessions with close friends and family, balancing the potential consequences against the prospect of a new beginning. Every nod of comprehension and every silent word of encouragement strengthened Finn's resolve in the quiet corners of Forrester Creations, where choices were frequently made in whispers rather than aloud. As he handled these conversations, he was conscious that every word might either heal a broken relationship or spark a new one. The atmosphere was charged with tension and implicit expectations. Finn finally put pen to paper to sign the papers that would formally implement his choice, a choice that would not only reshape his destiny but also have an impact on the whole Forrester dynasty, in a moment that felt both bizarre and intensely emotional. By writing it down, he vowed to follow a road of radical honesty, to face his previous transgressions head-on, and to restore the trust that had been so severely damaged over time. The act itself was a public statement that he would no longer conceal himself behind a facade of sorrow and complacency, combining vulnerability with defiance. The weight of his choice started to weigh on him as he moved away from his desk. There was a heavy, bittersweet relief that came with knowing that, despite the uncertainty of the path ahead, he had finally made a decision. Unaware of the profound change that had just occurred in one man's heart, the day continued on outside his office with the typical buzz of activity. The air inside Forrester Creations, however, was infused with a fresh vitality, a cautious hope that, in spite of the wounds from previous betrayals, perhaps change was imminent. Finn's choice was a beginning rather than an end. It was an opportunity to rewrite his tale in a way that respected the lessons learned from the past as well as the promise of a future based on honesty, responsibility, and a greater strength that can only be gained by confronting one's problems head-on. In the hours that followed, rumors about his choice spread, causing reactions from family members, co-workers, and even adversaries who had long felt that a reckoning was imminent. While some praised his bravery and the audacious move toward atonement, others prepared for the inevitable consequences, a series of difficulties that would put the foundation of the Forrester family's legacy to the test. Amid the flurry of encouragement and criticism, Finn himself had a deep sense of freedom, as though the sorrow and shame that had held him back for so long were suddenly starting to loosen. All of the tears that were shed, all of the self-doubt, and all of the painful reminders of what had been lost appeared to come together in that one instant to form a single, potent realization, that the only way to genuinely go forward was to let go of the past and welcome that uncertain future. With a heart that was both heavy and hopeful, Finn stepped out into the cool evening air as the sun set on that fateful February 21st, the sky ablaze with the colors of twilight and the promise of a new dawn. His choice had set him on a course that would permanently change his destiny, and maybe, in time, enable him to restore the broken ties of love and trust that had once seemed hopelessly destroyed. It had been forged in the furnace of pain and tempered by life's lessons. For the first time in what seemed like an eternity, Finn felt that there was a way forward, a means to turn the suffering of yesterday into the promise of tomorrow, despite the long and difficult journey ahead. Finn made a decision that was as much about taking back his identity as it was about having the courage to envision a time when redemption was feasible and the wounds of betrayal could be used as the basis for a stronger, more genuine life. On that one pivotal day, when the reverberations of his choice reverberated throughout the corridors of Forrester Creations and beyond. Thus, Finn's choice, which marked the start of a new chapter in the ageless tale of love, loss, and the unwavering pursuit of personal redemption, stood as a testament to the strength of self-reflection, the bravery to change, and the unwavering hope that even the most broken of hearts can learn to beat again. As February 21st came to an end and the outside world continued its relentless march into the night,